Welcome to BEMP, Black Heritage Enterprise Marketplace Corporation, an e-commerce enterprise platform created for Black business owners and empowered buyers across the globe. We are the platform that empowered buyers frequent most. The enterprise that our employees love working for. The parent company of BEMP, Black Entrepreneurs Marketplace. A Black-owned e-commerce Black business membership marketplace. And a marketing and advertising platform for Black business owners. We provide a variety of features, such as a Black business directory for both state and national searches, and targeted product and service searches. Black business owners advertise and market your brand to the most important consumers on earth with BEMP. Black business owners join BEMP today. BEMP Corporation.
Hey guys, welcome back to T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays. That's right, this is season 2, episode 1, and we are journeying into vegan and plant-based lifestyle. Guys, we are shaking it up a little bit just for you this season. If you notice, we have a panel in store for you this month. We know that a lot of you have already done those vision boards for 2021, and being fit and fine is one of your goals, and we are here for it. First up on our guest panel is Erica Stevens, Black business owner of Bear Sheet 129, vegan plant-based cuisine and catering. Next up, you guys, is Black business owner Janice Johnson of the Brown Bag Cookie Co. LLC. Janice is also the CEO and founder of Sugar Salt Co. Cosmetics. Going right on down the line is our next guest panelist, Trelly Trella Faggot, founder of Black Girls Grow on Facebook, as well as CEO and founder of Bombay Bundles. Next up is registered nurse, momager, and Black business owner of Florida Elite Fit is Melissa Cooper Rowland. And last but certainly not least is author, Black business owner, and founder of one of the most popular vegan Facebook groups on Facebook, Dr. Brooke Brim. So as you guys can see, we have a great lineup for you on Tuesday evening. So make sure that you tune in to T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays on BEMP Corporation's Facebook page at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Distant Time. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. As always, we'll see you soon on Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Peace and God bless you. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays. Of course, you guys know that I'm your hostess with the mostest, LaShawn Rush, and I am so happy to see you guys again. Listen, we had like a long little vacation. I hope that you guys enjoyed your family during the holidays. I know I enjoyed mine, and I hope you guys got some much needed rest and relaxation. Now it's time to get down with the nitty gritty, because I know that y'all done did your vision boards. You done wrote out your goals for this year. And I do hope that at the top of that list was health and wellness, because we at BEMP Corporation are journeying into the vegan and plant-based lifestyle. Yes, you guys. So you've seen maybe some of the little videos that I put out about my juicing and going raw and venturing back into the vegan and plant-based lifestyle. Guys, you guys already know that right here at BEMP Corporation, our biggest goal is to do what? Close that Black wealth gap. But we cannot be closing Black wealth gaps when our health is not on point. Okay, so we have to be around to be able to enjoy the wealth that we grow and that we build for our children, ourselves, and in generations to come. We need to be here to be able to enjoy it. So, what better way to kick off the new year than to talk about these lifestyle changes, y'all? Lifestyle changes. That's what we're going to talk about. So we know that for the most part, we've always heard that African Americans lead other races of people in disease and sickness in terms of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, just keep going on and on. The list goes on, and how we lead so many other nations and races of people in these diseases. So what we want to do is now we are going to look at tackling these things head on. And so, with that being said, with season 2 and a new year comes new beginnings and evolution. We're moving on past where we've been, and we're looking at going somewhere great right now. So, guys, we really want you guys to get healthy, and we know that the vegan plant-based lifestyle is one of those ways of doing that. As a matter of fact, statistics show that African Americans are more likely than any other race of people to become vegan or plant-based. And as Dr. Brim would say, plant dominant if you don't like either or. Okay. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that tonight. As we get going, I want to make sure that I introduce our wonderful panel to you guys. And so that you will know, like, who are these people? What are we looking at here? What's going on? How are we actually moving forward in this movement? I want to say I don't want to say it's a trend, because trends come and go, right? We want to say that it's a movement because we want it to stay. We want it to remain. We want not only to, like I said, get healthy, but we also want to be wealthy. And wealth consists of more than just money. It's overall health. It's overall health. So with that being said, let's get on with the nitty gritty of it all, because tonight's structure, we're bypassing product review and we're going straight to our panelists. So let me just say, 2 of our panelists were not able to make it tonight. One family is not feeling well, and the other one, she had some other unforeseen circumstances to come up. So guys, we are going to go ahead, and the show must do what? Go on. And we are going on. So our first guest of the evening, we want to bring in CEO and Black business owner, Erica Stevens. She's the owner of Bear Sheet 129 Vegan Plant-Based Cuisine and Catering. You guys remember her from her being on the show previously with T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays, and she will be back on this coming Thursday to interview on BEMP on the Spot with Brittany Lawrence. So you guys want to be there. She has a powerful testimony, and tonight she's going to give her, along with our other guest panelists, are going to give us a little schooling, honey. Let me show y'all my notebook, because I did tell y'all in my post that you will need a pen and a notebook. Okay, so I have my journal. I'm here to take notes. I hope y'all are here for it. And then next up, we have on the medical side, registered nurse Melissa Cooper Rowland, and she is going to be, listen, let me tell you something about her. I have been knowing Melissa for a long time. My uncle is best friends with her husband and with her, and they have been friends for as long as I can remember. Okay. And I can remember when Melissa first got started eating healthy, and that was like she had a goal to lose weight. Okay. And this was like 1994. And as long as I've known her, she stayed on this path. And so I had to have her on the show so that she can share with you guys what she does. When I tell you fit and fine, Honey, fit, fine, and fabulous is all of it. And she is the momager of her daughter, Saban Monique. Okay. And listen, if y'all haven't heard her sing, that's on a whole nother story. We're going to talk about that later. All right. So this is Mrs. Rowland, and we are going to be bringing her in soon. And then last but not least, we have Dr. Brooke Brim, honey. Yes. She was just featured on the cover of a magazine, guys, and I'm going to let her spill her own tea for y'all tonight, okay? But I am so elated to be amongst a panel of women who are doing great things in their own right. They are trailing so many paths and blazing so many paths for so many to follow. And I'm just excited to be in the company of them. Dr. Brooke Brim also has one of the most popular vegan food Facebook groups, Vegan Soul Food. And then she also, in speaking with her tonight, she and her husband also have an advertising firm. So guys, listen. This is what I'm talking about. There's greatness all up and through this panel tonight. And they're going to come and they're going to bring us some greatness. They're going to share some things with us. And I want you guys to be ready. I hope y'all ready. Okay, so please join me in welcoming Dr. Brooke Brim to the platform. Hello, good evening, Dr. Brooke Brim. Hallelujah. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And then next up, we are going to be bringing registered nurse Melissa Rowland Cooper. Thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us. Thank you. And then last but not least, we are going to be bringing on Miss Erica Stevens. Let's see, where'd she go? There she is. Erica, welcome to the platform. Welcome back. Okay, so ladies, listen, let me tell you, I have heard from quite a few people today that were really super excited about this show tonight. Because many of them are already trying to transition into vegan and plant-based lifestyle. And actually, before you all came on, I was talking to Dr. Brooke about how long she's actually been doing this. So I am so anxious to really share. I want everybody to hear from your perspective about this vegan plant-based, because you have some people that say it's not good for you, and then you have some people that say it is good, and you hear doctors telling patients that it's not good for you. I'm sorry, y'all see my husband. Thank you, honey. But my husband, but there are actually, I have a relative who said that she told her doctor that she was going plant-based or vegan. And they told her no, she couldn't do that. And she was diagnosed with lupus like a couple years ago. And she was told that it wasn't good for her to go vegan plant-based. However, I've heard so many testimonials of how going vegan and plant-based has actually helped to heal you. Right. And so I wanted to just go ahead and get started. One of the questions that I wanted to start out first with was the vegan versus the plant-based. And what's the difference? And anybody's able to start to answer that question.
I think the main difference between vegan and plant-based is vegan is a lifestyle and an ethical choice. So it's related, and it's also a political choice. So it not only involves the food that you eat, it involves not wearing animal products, not supporting companies that are not in support of animals, and not supporting companies that are not part of the vegan movement. You know, that don't support veganism. So it's bigger than just what you eat. And plant-based, for the most part, is about eating mostly plants, and that doesn't always involve 100% eating plants. It could be, you might also consider yourself, 80, 90% plant-based, but you might eat eggs or cheese, which could also encompass, vegetarianism.
Okay.
So that's mainly the difference.
Okay. Okay. So now, now asked that question because I wanted to kind of set the tone for everybody so that they can have a good bit of understanding as the difference between the two. Now, what I would like to do is to ask each one of you to introduce yourselves and tell the people a little bit about you and what you do. I know I gave kind of like a little brief synopsis of it, but I wanted to go ahead and allow you guys to, shine bright on this platform. And so I would like to go ahead and start with you, Dr. Brooke, if you want to go ahead and get us started with that.
Okay. Well, the first thing I want to say so that people understand, because is that it's Reverend Doctor. So
Reverend Doctor. Okay.
Yes. So I'm a metaphysical practitioner. And because we are talking about health and food and that kind of thing, I don't want people to get it misconstrued and think that I'm a physician.
Okay.
So I'm a minister.
Okay.
And I'm a metaphysical practitioner. And what I like to say to lay people is that I'm a minister of mind, body, and spirit. So I'm also a yoga instructor. As you know, I run the Vegan Soul Food Group. So I'm a champion of plant dominant living. And I'm a women's metaphysical practitioner. So I am a big advocate of promoting women getting in touch with their inner healing, inner guidance, inner wisdom.
Right.
And that means whole living. So what you eat, what you put into your mind, whether it's messaging, what you watch on Facebook, what you read, what you say to yourself, what you say, all of that. So it's just a whole. I promote whole living and
holistic living.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And since I think we're having some technical issues on the end of Melissa, so I'm going to go ahead and go to there she is. Come on back, Melissa. Come on back, honey. Can you hear us?
I'm sorry. I'm just getting my phone sounds really staticky, so I apologize.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Yes, we can hear you. Okay, and next up, let's bring on in Erica Stevens.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Erica Stevens. I'm the CEO of Bear Sheet 129 Vegan Plant-Based Cuisine and Catering. We're in Phoenix, Arizona area. So basically, we have a cookbook that we sell that has ingredients from appetizers, condiments, even ketchup, all the way to entrees, desserts, drinks, all of the above, so that you can have a complete meal. In addition to that, we also teach classes online that are interactive, either from the cookbook or we have a group that are my direct customers. They come up with ideas of food they want to learn how to make. And I teach them how to make it more plant-based and healthier and still keep all the the calories and everything, the protein that they need at the same time, so they're not lacking on that. And then we also do in-person consultations. We do consultations over the phone. And now we're in the process of doing some meal prepping and then potentially a food truck and brick and mortar. So we're pretty much all across the scope. But this has been a journey we've been on for about 5 years. And we're enjoying it. So that's pretty much what we do.
Awesome. And I do want to say that Erica is one of my clients. And so her business is I've said this before, is really near and dear to my heart because I was there from the date of conception.
Yeah.
So to see the growth of her business from where she started to where she is right now is nothing short of just amazing. And she's growing in leaps and in bounds, guys. So when you have a passion and you're gifted at doing something, just take the leap and just jump on in and just start moving and your direction, your passion and your faithfulness and your commitment to just dive in is gonna your feet will take you in the direction you need to go. And this is a perfect example of that. Okay, so next up is registered nurse Melissa Cooper Rowland.
Hey guys, hi. can you hear me? Because my phone sounds like it has static in it, but am I clear to you all?
Is it no? They saying no.
Am I clear? Can you hear me?
No. They said just a little bit. I think Dr. Brooke is saying a little bit.
Yeah, just
No. I just hear static, so I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me.
a little better now.
They said a little bit better now.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Okay. Can you hear? Okay.
It's
Sorry.
a little bit.
I'm
We
just
can
gonna
hear
go
a
ahead
little
and
bit.
speak. Hopefully you guys can hear me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. Sorry.
Yeah,
Should I turn
because
the
she did a
Wi-Fi off?
live yesterday and it was really good. It's when we come onto these platforms, sometimes your equipment do what it wants to do.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Okay, so while we wait on Melissa, I do want to go ahead and just acknowledge the people who are here in the room, who are on the live. We have Ann Henderson. Hello, and Ann Henderson says hello, everyone. Hello, Ann. Thanks so much for tuning in this evening. Juliet McCullum. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Juliet. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us this evening. Oh, Melissa. Natalia Kenneth said, do you have headsets? Possibly. Do you have some headsets? She's saying put the headsets on. That might help. And then let's see. Jordan Aaliyah says, hi, everybody.
Hi, Jordan.
And Davita Brown says, hello, everyone.
Davita.
And let's see, Pebbles McClendon says hello. Stephanie McClendon. Okay, hi. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for being brave enough to put your messages up here, because not everybody, they'll watch from a distance but won't say anything. So, hello, everybody. Let's see. Nichelle Lewis says, hello, everyone. Hello, Nichelle. Nice to see you, you beautiful people, this evening. So while we wait on Melissa, we're going to go ahead and get started with some of the questions that I had. So one of the questions that I had was the difference between plant-based and vegan. And Reverend Dr. Brim gave us a great example of the difference between vegan and plant-based. Now, let's get to the term plant dominant, because I want to get an understanding of plant dominant. Can you tell us, what do you mean when you say plant dominant?
Well, what I mean when I say plant dominant is that for the most part, it's about the meatless movement. So a lot of times people don't realize just how many plants they're eating. Sometimes in the group I ask, what % plant-based are you? And I hear people say something like, I'm 20% plant-based. And most of us are not 20% plant-based.
Right.
If you're part of the meatless movement, you're probably somewhere in the range of 80% and above, or maybe really even 90% and above. So the reason why I like to use the term plant dominant is because I think it's more inclusive of people who might be meatless Monday or vegetarian or vegan or raw vegan or flexitarian. Right. It's about being inclusive, and that's what our group is really about. Now, in terms for me, since 1991, I've been either vegetarian, 100% plant-based, raw vegan, or raw plant-based since or pescatarian.
Okay.
Since 1992. I always say 91. I moved to Atlanta in 91. I became plant dominant in 92.
Okay. Awesome.
So that's what I like to use the term plant dominant, because it really opens the space up for people who are interested, who are trying it out, who are vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, whatever you call yourself, flexitarian. It opens the space up. Whereas some people use a more narrow term, and I feel like it leaves a lot of people out.
Right.
And the more people that we have in it, the better for the movement.
Exactly. I get what you're saying. I believe that Erica and I kind of had the same conversation of and I'm going to get to this question as well. But before we move on with that plant dominant, we're going to come back to that topic. I do want to go ahead and let Melissa tell us about herself. And
I see that your Trelly is there. Do you see her?
I see her. Yeah, I put her comic up. Hello, Trelly. We miss you, and we hope that your family gets well soon. She is the founder of Black Girls Grow Garden, and if you're not a part of their group, you must join. I'm telling you, the beauty of the vegetation that I've seen, I didn't think that I could see anything like that. You know, like we think that the produce is nice in the store. But some of this stuff that these girls grow is like, whoa, like I need a green thumb. I need to get close, just maybe rub elbows with them and maybe it'll rub on me. Melissa, you actually have a nice garden too. I saw some of your pictures as well. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. So yes. Melissa, we're going to go ahead and give you the floor and let you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I apologize about that. Technical difficulties. But LaShawn, thank you so much for having me on the show. I've been so excited to sit on the panel with these beautiful queens. I have been like researching what you all do, and I am so inspired. So thank you all so much. But like LaShawn said, I've been a registered nurse now for 23 years. I spent the first 8 years doing oncology nursing. I was a chemo certified nurse, and I spent the last 14 years as a hospice nurse. So God has allowed me to see almost like the full cycle of life. And I so appreciate him for that. Yes, I do have 6 amazing children, been married to my husband for 27 years. We've been together for 32. And we do an amazing boot camp in the morning, every morning from 5:30 to 6:30 at one of the local parks. And we've been doing it for 12 years now. I cannot believe it's been 12 years. And we've literally had some of the same participants for the last 12 years, rain, shine, sleet, you name it, they've been there. So this whole journey has been such a blessing. We started with understanding, changing our diet almost about 20 years ago. We read the book of Leviticus, and God allowed us to really kind of dissect that book to really understand where he was coming from when he gave us those instructions. And so we started out kind of slow, like giving up things like milk and pork. But then as our life has kind of blossomed and progressed, and God has given us knowledge and wisdom, because with age comes wisdom, and God wants us to utilize that wisdom, that we're getting a better understanding of what it means to not only to be plant-based or vegan, but to consume what God has told us to consume in order to keep this temple upright. So I've been very excited about that. And I'm just thankful to God that he's allowed us to kind of pass these on to other people. So I'm excited to be on this panel with you ladies. I can't wait to get your cookbook.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Listen, I'm trying to calculate the number of years of just like health and wellness on this platform now. I'm a baby coming in. So it's gonna take me a minute. Erica's been in it for 5 years now. Reverend Dr. Brim has been in it for 28 years. 29. Melissa 23, because I was there when Melissa got started. So that is like over 50 years in health and wellness. Amen. That's the age of some of us that's on this platform, or even those that are watching. That is absolutely amazing. And so, and one of the other things that I wanted to say hello to Yolanda Franklin. Hello, Yolanda. It is nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. What is this? Shani Danette. And yes, she's part of Trelly's crew. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Okay, so now I do want to mention this before we go back to the plant dominant. I know Melissa's sister. She hasn't been on here on Facebook in a while, but I actually had a chance to experience, like witness her transition from being overweight to being like completely fit. Like her sister looked so good. I was like, what did you do? And she's been working out with Melissa, doing the exercises and all of that stuff, and changed her diet. And I could see how it actually worked. My thing was, I love food. Okay. If there's a way for me to eat some of the things that I love in a way that is healthier, still have flavor, then I can do it. It's the discipline part. You know what I mean? Just being disciplined. I wasn't very disciplined. And that was something that I had to be really honest with myself about. And I think that's an issue for a lot of people, is that we have this addiction to food. And it's like, I don't want to give up what I love eating, because I will find myself right back where I am. You know, and so I love the idea of what you said, Reverend Dr. Brim, about the being plant dominant, and including everyone, because I want to say Erica and I were talking about that, and she was telling me how when they got started, they weren't completely plant-based. They went through the stages and the phases of it, but now they're actually completely plant-based. And so now that kind of segues into my asking you all for each one of you to kind of share with us how you got started on this journey. And let's see, we'll start out with Erica.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so about, I want to say 7.5 years ago, my daughter Jordan was having a lot of problems. Mental illness was really, really bad with her. We had tried all the things with the doctors and trying to do the medication route, hospitalizations, because just out of the blue, she just didn't want to live. She wanted to kill herself. We found this out in a therapy session, and it just totally shook my whole world. She was 13 at the time. So we had to entrust strangers for the first time with our daughter. And that was the hardest thing. You know, those were the longest 6, 7, 8 days that they kept her in the hospital, because my kids have never done a sleepover with anybody, except my parents maybe 5 times their entire life. So you're talking about just handing them over to complete strangers overnight. You know what I mean? So we did that for about 2.5 years, and we were at our wits' end. You know, it was just no end in sight. It was just a roller coaster. So a friend of mine said, well, you need to look at cutting out meat and dairy. And I was like, okay, so what else is left after you cut out meat and dairy? We can't live off salads for the rest of our life. Like, my husband ain't going for no salad. He needs real food. So I started researching it, went through studying it. Her last hospitalization, I was like, okay, we're going to do this. So her sister was the chef of the house. We came together. We decided on a plan. We researched it very thoroughly. And at the time, I was on 14 different medications myself. So I decided to do it with her, you know, out of support. She came out. We detoxed her for about a week and a half with soups and teas. I got herbs from a herbalist I know, and we just detoxed both of our systems. And then we started back just very gradually doing, you know, salads and soups. And then we started, you know, making plant-based meals. And just swapping out meals that we normally would eat. Where she and I was completely just vegan, plant-based at that time. We went the alkaline way in the beginnings, which is very, if you know that, it's very, very tough.
Yeah.
So me and her were doing that while the rest of my family was still, you know, eating regular meat. But then they started noticing, okay, there's a lot of variety over there. So it took my husband about 6 months. He went in for his checkup and found out he was pre-diabetic. So I was like, you ready? So he said, yeah, but you got to figure out how to make chicken. So I figured out how to make chicken, but fast forward, like she did it for 2.5 years. No medication, no hospitalizations, no nothing. Turned 18, she decided she wanted to have a milkshake. She said she could handle it. And she noticed we were back on that roller coaster again. She wound up getting court ordered. through the mental health center system and all of that, because, you know, she's an adult now.
Yeah.
So she had to learn the hard way that, you know, mom was trying to tell you, your system just cannot digest meat and dairy like everybody else's. And it's okay. We can figure out. So I learned how to make my own cheese, my dairy. I make everything from scratch. And she's been doing a whole lot better. She's off court order now and she's living a full life.
Wow. So that kind of tackles the question that we have about, are there other health benefits to turning vegan? That's a good one. So you kind of answered that one. Reverend Dr. Brim, would you like to go next?
Yeah. Can you call me Brooke?
Brooke, yes.
Kind of a mouthful. No. It's my business card.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Just call me Brooke.
Okay.
And I don't remember the question because I'm going to say this to Erica. We had a similar experience with our daughter who's 13.
Wow.
When she was 13, she's now 19, but at 13, we had to, you know, she said she wanted to commit suicide, so we had to commit her. You know, I have a master's in mental health counseling. So, you know, I tried to ask all the questions like, you know, do you know how you would want to do it? Or, you know, and she answered all the questions. So I had to, like you, turn her over to a system, you know, willingly. And that is, you know, heartbreaking.
Wow.
To have to turn your child over to a system. And, you know, because when they put you on a suicide hold, I think it was 72 hours or something like that. But you don't have any, it's nothing you could do. You don't have any control. So I just wanted to say that we did go through that, you know, that it hasn't been ongoing from Sees a therapist and everything, but it hasn't been ongoing. But I understand. And we used, because they really were pushing for her to take meds at the hospital. And because I'm a metaphysical practitioner, I wanted to try holistic methods first. So that's what we use exercise. She's already vegetarian, so we didn't think about cutting out dairy or anything, but we did use exercise, and we used, you know, high vibrational things, raising her vibration through music and dance. And it, you know, advocate for smoothies, more vegetables in the system, you know, to balance out that diet. So, yep, I completely understand. And yeah.
Wow. And that's where we are now with the vibration, the meditating and all of that.
Yes, that's what we use meditation, all of that, because we just wanted to keep her, you know, teach her about her own vibration. And about how to raise that, because we didn't want her to, at that early age, learn that her happiness was in a pill. Right. Your whole happiness, your whole being, your whole taking care of yourself and being happy. Even though the hospital was asking us to do that, we did not want her to believe that her happiness was in a pill. We wanted her to learn that you got to fight and choose your happiness, and you got to you know, keep going and make good choices. And then after you've made all the good choices and you've done all the things that you know how to do, if you still need medication, then okay, get the medication. But because the thing is, even when you go to a therapist is like going to your weekly doctor visit. Yeah. You have to take care of yourself in the middle between sessions.
Right.
Yeah. You just can't run to session and you think that's care. No, you have to actively take care of yourself between those sessions. So that's what we really wanted her to get her muscles strong in choosing happiness.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's you know, we know that it has to be something in the food that's doing this, because like never before in all of the years before have you heard of young people 9, 10, 11 years old, 13 years old wanting to commit suicide, like and some of them actually going through with the process, with the attempt. So it's like
I think it's also
heartbreaking.
it's so much. When you say the food, I'm going to make it even broader and say the appetite.
Yeah.
In terms of not just
That's
food,
true.
but like what social media,
Yeah.
all the different things that all the information that we take in, the things
Yeah.
that we take in to
Mhm.
our spirit and into our body, I think it's a huge
Mhm.
factor. And I think children are dealing with things that we didn't have to deal with at such a level.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean, like right now, it used to be a time if you were picked on in school, you were okay. You could get away from it until you went back to school the next day.
Yeah.
Now it's like everything is right there in your face. If you're on social media, not only did you get bullied or picked on in school, but now it follows you, and it's kind of like a never-ending story. It's continual and consistent. And
Oh, yeah.
so I feel for anybody that's raising younger children during this time, because it is a lot. It is a lot.
Yes.
And so my heart definitely goes out. Dr. Brooke,
It's
Brooke,
okay. Yeah.
how did you get started on the vegan plant-based
Well,
journey?
I think my journey might have been easier than most because number one, my grandmother was a vegetarian for 50 years.
Wow.
So although my mother did not raise us vegetarian or plant-based or anything like that, I learned a lot about vegetarian cooking and herbs and holistic living from my mother and my grandmother.
Mhm.
So when I became 22 is when I became plant-based or plant dominant. It was I had tools. I had
Right.
tools in my toolbox to do it. So it wasn't as hard.
Mhm.
So and I was a raised Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
So, yeah. So vegetarianism is a component, a strong component of being Seventh-day Adventist. So
Right.
around me, I had a lot of different tools and I had a support system. So it wasn't. I'm not Seventh-day Adventist now, but back then, 22, I still was.
Right.
So I had a lot of support in that way, and a lot of knowledge that was all that I had since birth, really.
Right. Wow. So you definitely had an advantage. It wasn't foreign to you. You were familiar with it.
Right.
I don't know if Melissa's here. Melissa, can you hear us?
Oh my God.
Can you hear us?
I can, y'all
It's
be so
okay.
by now. Yes.
All is well. All is well.
Yeah, it's good. I don't. It's not doing as much of the static. Can you tell us how you got started on the plant?
Change it, but
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I put it earphone and hopefully that'll help. But I just want to tell you, ladies, that it's amazing how God operates and the way He moves chess pieces in our lives, because all three of us have experienced the same exact thing with our children. My youngest daughter, several years ago, actually attempted suicide. And it was probably the most devastating thing in our lives to experience that, because she literally attempted. And she's probably listening right now. And she is one of those angels that walk amongst us that God talks about.
She's very
And
sweet. Yeah.
the enemy was, oh my goodness, the enemy was after her. And when she went and was admitted into the hospital, me and my husband fought very hard for them not to put her on medications. Because we knew once she went that route, that it would be very difficult to bring her body back to that space. And we were able to get out of that system. Me being a nurse, understanding, I worked on psych floors my entire nursing career. So I understand how that system works. And by the grace of God, there go we were able to, God pulled us out of that system. And then through her own progression and her own journey, she realized that a lot of it had to do with food and things of that sort. So now she is now into meditation. She also does, she's a Reiki healer now as well too. She also does sound bowls where she works with people in that vibration, getting their vibrations all lined up. So it's amazing how we all share that common thread without ever meeting each other before. So thank you, ladies, for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that and being transparent, because us sharing her story about her attempting suicide has allowed other people to be healed. And she does womb circles, and she does healing circles, and she does this kind of thing to try to get the body's vibration back into balance. And she's working with children with sound therapy. So thank you for sharing that. And just real quickly, LaShawn, and to the other ladies on the panel, we were introduced into this lifestyle. Like I said, we did a Bible study on Leviticus, and we were going through, and it just resonated with me and my husband at the same time about how God kind of specified the things that he wanted us to consume and the things that he didn't want us to consume. And it just started out with us eliminating milk, and then it just went to pork. And then, so it's been a progression, but over the last, I would say last 2 to 3 years, it's been our entire life now, where we've been able to understand about, not so much about, my husband always says, I never like to give a title, but what I do like to do is try to eat what's best for the temple.
Right.
And once we do that, then it allows us not to be boxed into a category. And I so appreciate him for saying that and sharing that, because it frees me. It frees me from trying to maintain a lifestyle that the world can try to box us into. And now we can kind of go a little level above and say, God, what is it that you want us to do? So that kind of, it frees me. It literally has freed me to where I don't have to be kind of confined to say, oh, I'm vegan, or I'm plant-based, or I'm idle, or something of that sort. It's like, no, I am really trying to consume what God would have me to consume, because he designed it simple. So anytime we would go, if anything that we buy, the first thing we do is go to the manufacturer to find out how it works.
Right.
What is it that we need to do to keep this thing going? So if we go to a manufacturer for a product, then I need to go to the manufacturer for the temple. So that's what's been able to help me maintain my sense of understanding, and I don't get boxed into a category, so I can be free to eat what it is that I would love to eat, because I know I'm eating what's best for my temple.
Right. And it's so interesting that you say that. There is a Facebook group called Surviving Vegan. And basically, I was watching one of their videos, and they were talking about how they were talking about the significance or the importance in pairing food when you're at any point, whether you're a meat eater or you're plant-based or plant dominant or whatever you want to call it. But one of the things that they were saying on there was like, it's so interesting how we can know all of these things about food and how food works, but we should know really how the body responds to food, because our temples, our bodies are really like perfectly made machines. You know what I mean? And if we know how the body operates and we know how to fuel the body, then we're much better for it. Our body responds to it. And he was just talking about how amazing that it is that the body is so intelligent. It was made to be just this perfect machine. And so we're the ones that's confused about how we should care for our temples. And those are the things that we, just having these conversations is so important, because even adults get, to the point where you're so overwhelmed and you're so full that you have adults that attempt suicide as well. And you have those battles in your mind, brain fog. We can name a whole fatigue, completely drained. There are so many things. I mean, my doctor basically told me that I had leaky gut. I was like, what is that? He was like, you have leaky gut. That means that the lining of your intestines is kind of worn out. So, you're going to have to change the way that you eat. And I was listening to Melissa, and I do want to have Melissa jump into this. She did a video yesterday where she was talking about the different components that they added to their workout course. And she was talking about how, what was I saying, y'all? I lost track of my thoughts. Anyways, she was talking about, the leaky gut. Okay, so I was talking about the leaky gut, and she was saying that doctors don't really tell you anymore that you need to lose weight. You need to change the way you eat, because that's not what people want to hear. People want you to give them a pill that's going to temporarily fix the issue so that they can go ahead and continue to eat and do the things that they want to do. However, with leaky gut can cause you to really make you think you're losing your mind. And my doctor basically told me that more than 50% or 1 in every 2 or 3 Americans have leaky gut, and you just don't know it. So it hinders you from losing weight. You can feel like you're having for women, what is it? It's an ovarian syndrome. I can't think of it. I'll think of it in a minute. But basically making you feel like it changes your hormones. You can have hormonal issues. It can cause you to have diabetes. You can have issues with cholesterol. It can affect your lungs. I mean, this thing it could cause you to have issues with your kidneys. I mean, it is very serious. So, and you can also develop cancer. Because now you have all of these toxins that are supposed to be being flushed from your body actually entering into your bloodstream.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that serious.
Yeah.
And so for him, I was lucky to have an old school doctor that was just like, look, he told me point blank, you need to lose weight.
Yeah.
He was not afraid to say it. And I was like, okay, I'm like, Melissa, give me a pill to help me lose, give me something that's gonna, give me some appetite suppressant. He was like, no, get out there and walk. He was not doing that. He wasn't going for that. He was like, no, you need to get out there and walk. You need to change the way you eat. You need to exercise. And I just, at that time, I didn't have the willpower. And then I just went to the doctor a couple of months ago, and my doctor was like, you are pre-diabetic.
There you go.
Not listening.
Mm-hmm. And it also causes you to have a lot of confusion and headaches and, all of that's going on as well. People don't understand that they're connected.
Yeah. And that's why what you were saying, Melissa, about the vibrations, and our bodies is all about vibration and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially African Americans, especially Black people. We are all about, that's our makeup. Yep. Our hair is designed to receive energy.
Yep.
From the sun. Our skin is designed to absorb energy from the sun. So we are all about energy and vibrations. That's just what it is. And you know what's so crazy is that when you talk to a Christian about that, or people that really don't understand what that means, they automatically think it's witchcraft. Yep. No, it is not.
Right.
First thing they say. Yep.
That's the first thing that you're told. But when you really study the body and you understand you begin to understand a little bit of the makeup of the body, then it's like, okay, now come again.
Well, I saw a study. Well, it was a documentary that talked about how everything in the universe is light, and how we're made of light. Yeah. And how it was electromagnetic, how we're made of light. Mm-hmm. And then that light is nothing more than the vibration. It's nothing more than vibration. Yeah. And so it's really a scientific fact that we're all energy, and we're all light. We're all light beings. Yeah. And people, they don't want to talk about something like that because it has to be Jesus. And I love Jesus. I have nothing against it. I love Jesus. There's nothing wrong with Jesus. Right. But there are natural laws. There are natural laws and there are spiritual laws. And just like Melissa, right? Melissa? That's it.
Melissa.
Yeah, like Melissa said, she went back to studying the laws of how we should eat that she found in Leviticus, and it's even in Genesis.
Yeah.
Plants. She went back to studying that. And then it becomes like these are the aspects of Christianity or religion that we don't want to talk about and that we don't want to focus on. But if we just follow the natural laws and the spiritual laws that are out here, our lives can be much easier.
Yeah.
It can just be so much easier.
Exactly.
You have
And it's all
Exactly.
around us.
Yeah.
a mouthful.
Mhm.
And Sean, I want to go right back. That was a mouthful. And I just pray that people that are hearing this have received what you just said, because that's so important to understand that we came from light. So we are
Yeah.
light. We are natural beings and carriers of light.
Mm-hmm.
So, LaShawn, what you said about leaky gut, that I really want you to hear what the doctor has told you, but I also want you to hear what they're not telling you. So my question to you is if the doctor told you, LaShawn, next Friday is gonna be your last day on earth if you don't clean up this diet today, what would you have done?
Cleaned up my diet that day.
So my
That
question is,
day.
why haven't you done it yet?
I have
Right. So
listen,
why
let me
have you not done it yet?
listen, let me tell you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Mhm.
So I was talking to Erica and I was like, Erica, we kind of had a
I'm just
conversation.
asking.
Brooke and
I want
Erica,
to hear this.
they were here when we were like before the show, we were talking, and I was telling Brooke, I was like, listen, my love for food was addictive for me, and I had to actually confess that with my mouth. I had to confess it. I had to admit to that. And when I admitted it to Erica, it was even more, because like now it's not hidden in the dark no more. It's not somewhere in my mind. I'm not gonna make excuses for being unhealthy. I just have been unhealthy because I was addicted to food. I told Erica, I said, listen, and I even started the cleanse before Erica came down here, because I was like, Erica, when you come, I'm gonna change the way I eat. And then I was watching Brooke on her group, Vegan Soul Food, and she was talking about she and her husband are going on this raw vegan fat, this juicing cleanse, and raw. And I was like, oh, okay, so let me go ahead and order this juicer that I had been looking at. So I was like, okay, as soon as I get the juicer, I'm going to start juicing. I'm going to start juicing as soon as I get the juicer. My husband and I actually started eliminating meat from our diet even before then. We actually started before then. I was like, because this is a change that I need to happen now. It don't help me any to be on here trying to help Black business owners, to be trying to help people, helping the Black people close the wealth gap. If I'm overweight, I'm sick, I'm, debilitated because I didn't want to take care of my body. You know what I'm saying? I've shortened my lifespan because I can't stop eating. No, we're going to take control now. So I have started, my husband and I are both doing the raw and the juice cleanse. And I can tell you right now, just I think we've been doing it now for a week, because we just got the juicer, I think last Thursday or Friday. So we started Wednesday. I've already started feeling better. I feel more alive now than I did before.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the reasons that I wanted to make sure. I'm like, hey, I'm going on this journey. I'm gonna take as many people on this journey that are willing to go. But mainly, I think most of my issue was not having enough options. I am extra, real extra. If I'm going to order a salad, I'm gonna get some extra dressing, I'm gonna get some extra tomatoes, I'm gonna get some extra this, I'm just extra. And I love and I love having variety. You know what I mean? I don't like feeling like I'm in a box. I like being able to just be creative. I think that's the thing that I liked about food so much, is it's like, okay, you can eat Spanish food, you can eat soul food, you can eat this, you can eat that. And my issue was, like I was telling Erica, I would get in the kitchen and I'm starting to cook, and I find myself in the kitchen all day trying to prepare food. And I'm like, this is not going to work. But now that I have a little bit more understanding, I have Erica's cookbook. I'm watching Brooks, her group, and the recipes and stuff. I'm finding that cooking plant-based is actually faster than preparing meat.
Yes. Especially if raw and juice fast. It could be pretty easy, pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real fast.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, oh yes, and here's the cookbook. I have Dr. Brooks. Can you get her recipe manual out of the drawer where we keep the things at? Okay, so this is Erica's cookbook, Bear Sheet 129 Vegan Plant-Based Cuisine. This is her cookbook. She has about, let me see, I want to say it's 90, almost 100 pages in here of different things. Yeah. So she has hemp seed milk. I mean, and it's color coded. You have the condiments, the entrees, the drinks on one thing, and then I've been using this. Look at the pages.
Oh, you downloaded it? Yeah.
I downloaded. This has been my look, and my husband knew exactly where to go. It's in the kitchen, right underneath where we keep the juicer. And we go in here, and I was just telling Brooke that there's a
printed version. That's the printed version. The book.
Yes, version. I ordered that. I'm waiting mine to come, the colored version. But I was just telling Brooke, I said, I'm gonna get that apple pie. I'm gonna make some of that for me and my husband tonight.
And it is not in the book. It is not in the book.
It's easy though. She has so if you guys want to know about it, make sure that you guys go to their Facebook pages. You have Bear Sheet 129 Vegan Plant-Based Cuisine and Catering is Bear Sheet 129. And then you have Vegan Soul Food. You guys can go there, make sure you join just to have that support. And then Melissa does like workouts, and she has like inspirational videos, motivational videos. Make sure you go to Florida's Elite Fit Club on Facebook. There is so much support that we have right here on this platform. And I'm so glad that you guys join me. So let me ask you, you guys, I had a whole list of questions. Y'all know I sent y'all a bunch of stuff, but I think that everything kind of worked out for a reason. I think that it's not by coincidence that we have 3 panelists who all kind of have some things in common in terms of understanding the health side and what that side looks like when your body isn't healthy. The things that our bodies go through. And I know Erica herself experienced some health issues, but for your children, like most of us as parents, we'll lay our whole life down for our kids. Hands down, okay? If you could trade places with your child and just deal with all of the things that they have to deal with so they wouldn't have to, we would do it. So it's one thing for you to be attacked in your body, but for your children to be attacked, that's something. And not knowing that you're completely out of control. You don't have no control. There is nothing you can do. There is nothing like that. There is not a feeling to explain that. But if you know that you have an option, and it's as simple as changing your diet, come on, people, we got to do it.
Yes.
We got to do it. We got to do it. And I don't know, Melissa, this is the other thing that Melissa said, and then I'm going to let y'all take the reins. But Melissa was talking about how if I see one more Facebook post of a classmate or somebody that I know with wings saying rest in peace, I don't know what I'm going to do. We're talking about a generation that's dying faster than our parents passed away.
Yes, for sure, absolutely. And Sean, that is so. Just to commend you and to compliment you about being able to be transparent about your nutritional journey and to share the fact that you had mentioned there are some very powerful words that you said. You said things like addiction, food addiction. You said things like not really, wanting to continue to eat food with variety. You felt like you were kind of restricted in that box, that you really didn't have a lot of choices. And the one thing that I realized is when you understand how the body works, then you understand the why. So I tell people understand the how and understand the why. And I'm not talking about being complicated and have to go back to school and go to anatomy and physiology. Right. That's not what I'm saying. What I know is that when my husband always says, when you take that one step forward, God's going to meet you almost halfway, not more than halfway.
Yeah.
So, and what he did was he simplified it. He simplified this whole understanding for me, because we were getting caught up in all what the scientists say and what this says and that. God said, no, 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 no. This is how simple I want you to understand this. That the things that I have designed for you to consume are the nutrients that are necessary in order for your body to function, so you can go forward and preach the good gospel. You can go forward and tell people about how great God is.
Right.
So then when I understood that, then I was like, okay, then I understand why I need to eat the things that God has asked.
Right.
And it was clarity that I can't even explain, but it took away all of the feeling of, oh, I can't have it, or the denial of I can't have that and I can't have that. Once again, me and my husband talking the other day, and he said, the measure of wealth is not what a man can gain, but what a man is willing to give away.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, what is it that you're willing to give up in order to gain that wealth? So now you're closing that wealth gap when it comes to our health. So closing that gap, because we have just gained whatever you can give away, then that's how you gain your wealth. So the question you have to ask is, why do I not want to give up meat? What is it? How is it benefiting me? And I'm not saying everybody has to give up meat. That's not what I'm saying. I like to get caught up into that, but I have to ask people. People say, "Oh no, I can't give up meat. I can't give up sugar." And I ask, "Why can't you? What are you hanging on to it for? What does it do for your life?" And once you understand the how, then you understand the why. So that's what made it simple for me. And then I understood that it wasn't so much food; it was understanding that my body needed nutrients. Not so much the food. The food was just a vehicle to get the nutrients in the body.
Yeah.
So that's why you can eat a plant-based diet and get all the nutrients that you need. And let me tell you about the variety of foods this is in plant-based. Oh my gosh. It is, the recipes are endless.
Yeah.
They are.
Plant-based and minimize it. Oh my gosh. And now you have queens that are, what you guys are doing with these cookbooks and these recipes. You all have opened up an entire avenue of understanding and enjoying recipes and plant-based recipes like never before, so I really thank you all for doing that. I really thank you all for doing that. But LaShawn, you can, once you understand the how, then you understand the why, and it'll kind of eliminate that battle that we have trying to understand, well, I need to give up. No, Christ said you deny yourself, and watch how quickly you become wealthy.
I agree with that. And I have a grandchild, so I'm definitely not trying to be in a wheelchair in somebody nursing home and none of those other things. I want to enjoy my life, and I want to enjoy whatever wealth that the Most High has for me and my family. I want to enjoy that. I want to be around to see, my siblings, children's children come along. You know what I'm saying? I had to really look at it, because there are health issues on both sides. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention as well, is really knowing your family history and understanding where some of these generational curses come from.
Patterns. Generational
patterns. Yes. Generational patterns, because my grandmother grew up doing this and it worked for her. My mama grew up doing it and it worked for her. And I'm growing up doing it and it's working. Nope, it didn't work for me.
Right. And I think that what you're going to find out, LaShawn, is that the longer that you do your raw and juice fast, the more clarity that you, to Melissa's point, figuring out the hows and the whys, the more clarity that you'll get, the further that you get into, the longer that you do the cleanse, the raw and the juice, you start to evaluate, oh, this is what I used food for. I see. You start getting more creative ideas, and you start getting more understanding, because your body is taking less time and less energy to process the meat, to process the grease, to process the sugar or whatever. And
it's burning less energy. Yes.
And so that energy can go to your brain. And it can go to your knees. Your knees feel better. You're lighter on your feet. You're thinking sharper. You're evaluating more. And so that really does, the longer that you stay into the raw and juice fast and take however long time it takes, you gain such perspective. You also get a sharper sense of smell, and you can start to smell chemicals in fast food and different.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Identify that. Oh, wait a minute, that's not really real food. I smell
Yep.
something different.
Wow.
Smell the food science in the food. And so what we do from there, when you get done with the raw and juice fast, you're pretty much really detached from this way of eating. But then you have to feed your mind and tell your mind it's okay to stay with the plants, because we just out of habit feel like we need to run back to old ways.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it's about feeding the mind, and also because once you detach yourself by filling yourself with the vegetables and the juice, start to gain those the physical clarity. Then you just have to speak life to your mind and say, it's okay. I can keep eating vegetables. I'm okay with vegetables and fruit. I'm okay with plants. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm thriving with plants.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if my cousin says they got to have them some meat. I'm good with the
With
plant.
not having it. Yeah.
This is my goal, and this is what I want to achieve, and this is what I think is my highest good. And I'm not at all saying that everybody has to go plant-based, but more plants into your diet is a very good thing.
I agree.
More plants, a lot more plants is going to help you.
And you also got to just make that decision, because a lot of people are looking for other people to say it's okay. You have to make this decision yourself, because I can tell you all day it's a good idea. You can try it, but if you haven't come to that conclusion on your own, all I'm saying is what I think you should do.
Right.
You have to internalize that.
Right. That's interesting, because in our group, you know, and I'm going to tell you, we get about 550,000 comments, reactions, replies, likes in 1 month. So it's a lot that we filter through. But one thing that I really try to promote in the group is people will show a plant-based product and say, how does this taste? I can't answer that. Nobody can answer that for you.
Nope.
Your taste is different.
You have to get in where you fit in.
That palate is different.
Well, show us. Can somebody tell me how to do this and how to do that? The group is like a huge library, so we really reinforce this idea of, like, we'll send them back the message instead of putting it up in the group where everybody's like coddling you and telling you what you need. We say, you know, keyword and topic search in the group, because the truth is, if you really want this to work for you, it's gotta be about that line, and that is, you gotta be searching it yourself, and you gotta, the same way you found out that they had the Popeyes chicken and you search where that Popeyes was, then you can search for oyster mushrooms the same way. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
You gotta, you know,
you gotta take a personal responsibility. Personal responsibility is huge. It's like, even when I homeschool my kids, and we didn't have, you know, we weren't homeschooling like everybody else. We did it the way it worked for us. It's the same way. It's a personal journey. You can't do it like everybody else, because all of our systems aren't created the same. We haven't eaten the same amount of junk. So, you know, we're not going to recover as quickly as everybody else. So you have to take that into consideration and think about that as well.
Yes.
Wow. This is a lot. Like, I hope everybody is like tuned in. Melissa, what were you saying?
I think she's frozen. Melissa.
I'm sorry. What I was saying was, that's so profound that you are. It's amazing how all. Can y'all hear me? Yes. Can y'all hear me? Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you.
Y'all can hear me.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
How God is so in the midst of this whole thing. Okay, so it's so profound that you all say that about this has to be a.
You muted. Can't hear you.
Yeah, are you? Yeah, you muted.
Am I muted? No, I shouldn't be.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, so what I was saying was about it being a personal responsibility because this temple was given to us. It was given to me. This temple was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
therefore, God thought it not robbery for me to understand His design. And when
Right.
people come to me and say, "Well, I need a meal plan," and I look at them and I say, "Okay, well, what did you have to eat yesterday?" And they're like, "Oh, I had such and such." I said, "Well, who planned that meal for you?" And they're like, "I did." I said, "Exactly. You know how to plan your own meals." I work in nursing homes every day where people cannot plan their own meals. Their meals are planned for them.
Wow.
You don't want that kind of meal plan. That's not the kind of meal plan you want. We have come from light. So it is already in us. The DNA of the knowledge to understand how to treat and protect this body is already inside of us. God did not design us to leave that to the man next to me, because if he did, then that man can tell me what to do and what not to do. So now he is in control of my life, and God did not. He said, "I came to give you life more abundantly." So we have to understand that that knowledge is already in us, to understand how we just have to tap into that. We came from the Creator. We came from light. That knowledge is already in us. And then not only that, but those of us that are in this diaspora, we came from the most highly intellectual beings that ever walked face on this earth, our ancestors. So when it comes to understanding what we shall eat, we understand that this diet, this slave diet that we have all incorporated into our lifestyles, this was given to us when we were enslaved. We are no longer physically enslaved.
That's right. We no
are
longer
mentally
exactly.
enslaved. And we have to break the chains of that mental enslavement and tap back into what our ancestors knew before they came here. They
Right.
the ground.
Which
They
we
healthy.
all
We
come
have to
here.
do that.
To your point, Melissa, we're made in the image and likeness of God. So we came here packed and ready to go with all the things that we need. And to LaShawn's point, what happens is we then start getting through, even in the womb, we start getting the messaging right away of who we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to eat, what we're supposed to believe, all these things. And it's passed on from generation from generation. And some of the things were needed when we were in slavery to keep us alive. But now it's time for us to reevaluate. If we need these to keep, we don't work in the fields anymore.
Exactly.
So we don't need to eat that heavy food and fat back and things like that. We don't need to last all day with fat back. Even some of us, our family was sharecroppers, and we needed that heavy food because we weren't getting back to the kitchen maybe until the end of the night. So it was needed.
Right.
Now all we do is work with these. Most of the time we work with the and we don't do that much, but we need all that heavy food. So we have to reevaluate all the different things that were given to us and the things that were given to us in love.
Exactly.
Our ancestors felt like they were doing the best that they could do when they gave us things to think and things to eat and things to do and how to behave. They felt like they were giving us the best that they could do. But God brought us here in its image. So therefore, we have to tap into that godly DNA and say, what's best for me? And you get quiet and you go inside of yourself and you take a moment every day to connect with spirit and to connect with God. Then you know what's the next thing that you are to do. You can do it. What's next? Just sitting quiet and ask God, what am I supposed to do today? What's the next day?
You gotta really connect.
Be led.
And you really gotta connect with nature, because like even doing gardening, you talk to your plants and they'll tell you what they need. Like I had plants and they weren't really growing. I was like, okay, what's going on? So come to find out, they wanted me to move the shade. So I moved the shade, and lo and behold, they just start growing up. So you gotta learn you gotta connect with nature, because it'll tell you what it needs, your body, needs to connect as well, so it can tell you what it needs.
Mm-hmm.
That is so interesting that you say that. There's a couple things I wanted to just kind of piggyback off of. I remember my grandmother, Melissa, you used to come to my grandma's house and she cooked it, just cook stuff. And I would tell my grandma, I was like, Grandma, you had 6 kids. She didn't have any stretch marks. I mean, she still had a bomb kind of like figure. I'm like, oh, Lord, and I'm saying, like, how do you do that? How do you manage your weight and, all of that stuff? Before she injured her back, she was, she stayed pretty healthy. And she said, you just listen to your body. Your body tells you what you need to eat.
Yep.
Right.
And back then I didn't understand what she meant by that. I'm like, listen to your body. Your body will tell you what to eat. Okay. Like really just listen to your body. When you really are in tune with yourself, for instance, you be like, oh, I'm craving some collard greens.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's iron. You need that you need those vitamins.
Yes, you need the vitamins,
Or I need to go sit out in the sun.
Yeah, or you sit out in the sun.
Yep.
Exactly. And then I was talking to I believe it was my doctor I was talking to, and he said one of the things that he said was so interesting to me. He said we get energy through our feet. So when you're outside, you know how your parents tell you, don't be outside. I know when I was a kid, we played outside with no shoes on.
Yep.
That was what we did. And as much as you got yelled at for doing it, we did it anyway. And I was like, that's so interesting that he said that. He said there are vibrations that come up through the earth that give you energy in your body. Yes. And he said, and so then you wonder, that's what the Africans be doing. When we see them, they don't have, sometimes they don't have shoes on and they're just comfortable like that.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Oh yeah, I go out and ground outside by my mailbox in the dirt with no shoes on all the time. Ground myself with the earth.
Love it. Yes. I hate wearing shoes. I hate wearing shoes.
It's amazing because
as soon as I walk in the door, they off.
My husband goes into when my husband goes into our garden, he takes his shoes off. And he retires because we consider that garden, that area that God had allowed us to have, that is, the vibrations are so high in that area that when he takes his shoes off, or when we take our shoes off, which is a requirement to come in the garden, it's so crazy because people are like, what do you mean? And when they do it, they come, and when they center themselves, and what happens is you can feel the energy that's taking place underground as those plants are growing to love you. And what happens is because you love them, they return that love back to you. So when you go into that garden area, we have
that's interesting.
Amount of sun. Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, you can actually feel. And we don't allow any negative talk in that area. When you come into the garden, it is all about positivity because it's like the vegetables are waiting, like they're waiting to serve you because it's so good to them. So you're just eating this beautiful cycle of love because we were created in love.
Yeah.
So you can feel it in that garden. You can feel the energy under the ground, and you do have to ground yourself. And they even tell you when you go to different time zones to take your shoes off and ground yourself in that area so your body's clock can try to adjust to where you are. So I love grounding. I love that.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's so interesting, guys, is that everything that we talked about, it brings us all back to Genesis in the beginning. When the first thing that the Most High God said in the beginning was, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Right.
And then He created the animals and the plants and the trees, and then He created man. And all of that came out of that light because He is light, and Christ is light, right? And so if we're made in His image and in His likeness, we're also light. But before Adam and Eve sinned, they were without clothes. They didn't know that they were naked. They were before the Most High God. They were transparent and complete, without any covering. And so it's like just getting back to the things that we're talking about now with, the energy and knowing and understanding that we are beings that are created from the Most High God. We are energy. He has given us, like, He's put His light in us, right? So we have to project that, and then understanding that, yes, because we are all of these things, connecting ourselves with the earth. Mother Earth herself is a womb, so we're connecting ourselves with her, and we're connected because he is all. You know what I'm saying? He's in all and through all. So it's like, you know, how can you not want to be? It's just so interesting how we come back to that.
Now, I'm going to tell you something very interesting just about connection. So you guys have probably seen over the internet all week, the Tabitha Brown did these angel eggs with a marinated mushroom, and she put chickpeas inside, and everybody's going wild, posting it everywhere. And the same thing in my group, mushrooms are everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Well, here's the thing. What they talk a lot about with the coronavirus is that a lot of the people who have passed away from coronavirus is because they had a vitamin D deficiency.
Yes.
Mushrooms are the only source, only vegetable source that give you vitamin D. And if you notice, now I notice it in my group, this mushroom craze is off the chain.
Yes, it
is. Oyster mushrooms, king oyster mushrooms, chicken nuggets, portobello, you know, baby bella,
lobster mushrooms,
lion's mane.
Lion's mane. This mushroom thing is going off the charts. And this mushroom thing that Tabitha Brown, she said her ancestors, she said she got it in a dream. I said her ancestors gave it to her, but she said she got it in a dream. That part. But my thing is, to someone's point, they said, listen to your body. Our bodies are telling us, and we're collectively listening. We need to get this vitamin D, and we need to get it through these mushrooms. And we are consuming these mushrooms in so many ways. So many people did not know about a king oyster mushroom or oyster mushroom or a lion's mane mushroom. But honey, it's off the chain with especially Black people getting and using and frying up and stuffing and jerking and doing and pickling. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And it is our internal wisdom guiding us to the mushrooms.
I believe that the Most High, he knew that we would come to this place. Like, he knew that we would be here. He knew what was going on and how things would be going. And so it's like he just is feeding our spirits. And like I said, you put that foot out there and you take that journey, he's going to guide you and direct you. He's going to take our feet and plant them on the path that he wants us to be on. And so for all of us, and you know, that's one of the biggest things that they say Black people lack is vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D3. My chiropractor told me this, and this is why I keep going to him. He told me, he said, you are a Black woman. He said, you and your husband are Black. He said, and I'm not being rude, so don't take it as being that. He said, but Black people have your illnesses derive mainly from the fact that you are vitamin D deficient, vitamin D3 deficient. And so he was like, you have to get yourself a good vitamin D3 supplement. If you're not going to be in the sun, because he said the sun is the natural way of absorbing that vitamin D3, if you're not you need to be taking a supplement.
Right.
And so I was like, whoa, I had never heard that before.
Yes. We are the melanated population. And because we were originally sub-Sahara, or we were just kind of in the sun, the way God designed our bodies was the melanin helped to protect the body from the sun, from being burnt. But what happened is that once we started to migrate more north, then we kind of got away from that ability of the body to kind of convert the ultraviolet rays into vitamin D. So what happens is, and then through a series of just all types of progression, you know, when we came to this country and we were told that Black was bad, so we tried to stay out the sun, and we didn't want our body to get black, and we didn't want to be in the sun. And, you know, we didn't want, because we thought that was ugly to be dark. And then all of a sudden, somewhere down the line, we were convinced that we had to put on a lot of sunscreen like everybody else. So it's like, wait, God's like, whoa. I gave you these beautiful solar panels. You cannot cover them with newspaper, expect for your house to get any type of charge or electricity.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that our bodies, our immune system the boost is vitamin D. So if we're inside and we're harboring ourselves away from the sun, we're in air conditioned environments, we're not getting the sun, and then now we have these viruses that are running rampant, and our immune systems are like, I don't know what to do because I have no boost of the vitamin D to help me become as strong as I need to become. And now you see our bodies kind of succumbing to some of these viruses and diseases. And I don't get into, we should have done this, should have done that, but we do understand that I've been listening to studies and reading studies that what they're saying is that people that have kind of succumbed to coronavirus or have had suffered from certain viruses and illnesses, they realize that their bodies are vitamin D deficient.
Wow.
So us as melanated people, we need to get in that sun. We need to stay in the sun for at least 30 minutes a day and not be ashamed that we're going to
be chocolate. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Right, exactly. There's nothing wrong with it. But God gave us these beautiful built-in solar panels to get that energy from the sun so it can boost our immune system. So now we can go ahead and keep moving forward. So that's so profound that you said that about the mushrooms. So it's mushrooms, sun, and then some fish where you can get the majority of your vitamin D resource.
I did not know that mushrooms had vitamin D3. So that is I didn't know that at all. And that was one of and that was going to be one of the last questions that we asked, because I know we've been on here for quite some time. This has been really, really good. I mean, wow. So much that I've learned in, conversing and speaking with you guys. So my question is, when you go, a lot of people are concerned that when they go plant-based or if they go plant dominant or vegan, that they're going to be lacking in nutrients because they're not taking in meat or they're not drinking milk. Because you guys remember the Cosby Show days where you had to have milk with every meal because you got, healthy from the milk. But now, like Brooke said, we get most of our vitamin D from mushrooms.
Plant-based,
plant-based. So can you guys touch on that?
Well, firstly, there's a very interesting thing that we overlook, or meat eaters overlook, about getting nutrients. Lots of animals get their nutrients from plants.
From plants. Yes.
Big giant gorillas, big giant animals get their nutrients from plants. So plants, all vegetables are have protein. Fruits do not have protein, but all vegetables have protein. So eat enough vegetables, you're going to get plenty of protein. You can also add to that legumes. You can add to that nuts. You're going to get your proteins. Okay, so eat plenty of nuts. Eat plenty of vegetables, and there's plenty of protein in there. Because there's always this game that people like to play about. Are you getting enough protein? Yes.
But they don't ask that when you eat meat, though. That's the weird part.
If the gorilla is getting enough protein to grow his muscles nice and strong, that you're getting enough protein as well. Just make sure that you're getting enough vegetables. If you eat the rainbow, which I always suggest, eat everything in the vegetable family, every color. So instead of just always going to green peppers, get the multicolored peppers and put you in bowls. Make sure that you eat a pomegranate, juice a pomegranate.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Just go with every color. Try eggplant if you never have. Beets, fresh ones. Every color. Tomatoes. Just keep trying green vegetables. And if you feel like you don't like kale or some of these other green vegetables that are fresh, remember that string beans are green.
Right.
If you don't want to juice kale, you can juice parsley, which is a lot more mild tasting than kale.
Yeah.
You can juice. That's a green leafy. You can juice mint. You can put that in a smoothie with blueberries. Mint and blueberry smoothie is amazing. Tastes really good.
Wow, I need to try that.
You can do basil, so you don't have to be confined to you know, kale or spinach or things that you feel afraid of or you feel like taste too green, use your herbs. So
wow.
It's just very important to I'm sorry, something's going on in the hallway, and I'm like, what?
We all get ready.
But I'm just saying, yeah, definitely get out there, try, do the rainbow. And another thing that's really important, and I mentioned this in the recipe guide as well. And this is something that my grandmother taught me. So if you're going to eat a sweet potato, don't always eat it baked. So sometimes maybe have it boiled, have it baked, have it raw, because every different way that you prepare it is going to give you a different level of nutrient and sometimes a whole different nutrient.
Wow.
So that you prepare things and don't always take your greens and, you know, put them, you know, boil them or steam them.
Right.
Try to braise them sometimes. You know, eat them raw. Do it all kinds of different ways and you will get different levels of nutrient. That's something that some grandmother wisdom that I got, and it's really important.
That is so interesting. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Erica, Melissa, did y'all want to chime in?
I was just gonna add like spirulina is one because it even has more grams of protein in it than kale. So that's something that you can use. Yeah, because kale has about 2 grams per cup. And so you can add that, chia seed, hemp seeds, even the Ezekiel bread. That's another one that you can, I'm not a bread person, but my kids are, so that's what we eat when we're not making it. So
wow.
So those are some other, ideas.
Dang. Okay. I'm going back to watch this tonight.
And even like if you're a nut person, peanuts, almonds, I mean, those are all protein. That's protein.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I found it easier for me. I do a lot of juicing and do more blending. Let me say blending. So I do want to make a difference because I put it in a blender. So I don't have a fancy juicer. I don't sit there and juice all the vegetables, but I do blend my vegetables, and I do that, weekly. I do that, I have every day, So I find that it's easier for me because the understanding that God has allowed me to understand now is about the nutrients, and that the transportation of the nutrients does not have to be on a plate. So that level of understanding has really helped me. So now what I do is on Sundays, I get a couple of mason jars and I get my beets and my carrots and kale and spinach and all different things. And I juice and I put it in the refrigerator. And every day, I do a lot of sea moss. I prepare sea moss. So that's another way to get a lot of minerals that my body needs. I do a lot of super greens to get my vitamins that my body needs. So I try to consume that kind of all in one type of meal for me. And that's what works for me, is being able to blend my vegetables. And I can consume that throughout the course of the day. And I absolutely love it. I love how I feel. I don't feel very heavy, and I don't have to depend on eating multiple meals a day to try to get that same amount of nutrients that I can get with blending a smaller jar. So that really works for me. I add chia seeds to it, as well too. So that has really helped me. But I also, 2 friends of mine just bought me an air fryer. Now y'all know I'm excited about this air fryer because I get to get some vegetables in the air fryer. I'm so excited because I do my stuff. So I'm gonna have to come back and tell you how this works with the air fryer. So I'm excited about putting all my Brussels sprouts and stuff in the air fryer. So yeah, that's exciting to me.
Now I'm going to say also, in addition to the air fryer, now years ago I discovered a pressure cooker that you put on the stove, and when you pressure cook your vegetables, it keeps all the nutrients inside of the vegetables. And so everybody was getting like the Instapot, and I was like, I don't need that. I got my regular, my pressure cooker that I do on the stove. Well, I got an Instapot with the air fryer.
Yep.
Baby, I love that thing. It makes my life so. Oh, I don't even use my stove pressure cooker anymore. That thing, that Instapot, that's my boo.
I know you're right.
You know what I just figured out though? I went and got a dehydrator. And
I got one too. I have Excalibur.
That's my bae right there.
Yes, especially now because I'm doing raw and juice fast. I make like raw pizza, raw burgers. That's
burgers.
Excalibur.
That's food. It's ready. In about 8 hours, I'm good to go. Dinner's already ready.
That's what I love. We had raw pizza. We had raw pizza a couple days ago. We were just having a ball.
And the ingredients, the spice, all of that, because it's intense and it's fresh and it's so good.
Yes, the flavor really does intensify.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this air fryer is also a dehydrator, so I'm looking forward to doing. I'm looking forward to doing eggplant bacon. I cannot wait to try eggplant bacon.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about eggplant bacon.
Oh, y'all got me excited over here.
I do vegan grilled cheese sandwiches, so now I can't wait to add. Or I do a lot of vegan steak and cheese and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to adding the dehydrated eggplant as a bacon on top of this sandwich. I'm excited. I
get try with rice paper too.
Dehydrated mushrooms. Ooh, baby. Yeah, and rice paper bacon. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
What kind of bacon?
Rice paper. And it's in the cookbook, LaShawn. So close your mouth. It's in the cookbook.
I'm listening. I'm getting all the tea, honey. This is what tea is all about, honey. We getting the tea on here.
Rice
paper. Did somebody say bacon?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, we gotta come back. We gotta come back and do some recipes. We're gonna have to do like a Zoom or something and just do like some great recipes together. I was already talking to Shirtz about coming down here to Florida. And I was telling her that we would probably have to rent out a commercial kitchen and just have people come and do like classes and like with simple recipes, put a simple recipe book together that they can print out and they come in and take, just learn how to cook like different dishes and things of that nature. But I really, 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 really love this. Like I am so excited. I'm even more excited than I was before. Because I'm like, what? Baking out? What? Dehydration? What? Hamburgers and dehydration?
It's delicious though. I will tell you, it is delicious. I never even thought about getting a dehydrator, but my friend that eats raw all the time, she be posting all this stuff on Facebook. I'm like, ugh. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this, and it was delicious.
Well, after a while, you need like a little tooth, a little something to make you feel like you're eating a little bit of food. You want to keep it raw. You don't want to just keep it all the time. So I love my dehydrator for that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Yeah, that's why I say put it in there in the morning and you'll have some when it's ready for dinner. It's not a quick meal.
It's not a quick thing and you got to plan it out, but boy, it's good.
Patience is a virtue. That's for sure. Davina says, yes, recipes, please.
Where'd you go, LaShawn?
She'll be back. Show me, could you have your cookbook on hand while we're waiting?
Listen, I do apologize. And then somebody said, okay, Tamara Williams Boyd said, you ladies did an awesome job tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And then here are my two. These are my two that are on. Oops.
Yes.
They're on,
okay.
Amazon.
Okay, Melissa. Now you see this. The other two over here, y'all got a kindred.
Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. That rice paper bacon.
That bacon. Yes.
That rice paper bacon right there.
Yes.
Yes. Melissa, now tell me, Erica, where is your book on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, but it's cheaper if you go to my website. So
I'm gonna put it on. I have on our website vegansoulfood.com. I have like a post of recipe books that we love, cookbooks that we love. So I definitely want to put yours in that post because it just, and I got to get it because it looks just so, it's just packed with all kinds of goodies.
And it's funny that you were talking about Genesis 1 because that's what Bereshit means in Hebrew. Genesis.
Okay,
and then 129 is chapter 1, verse 10.
I was wondering what that meant. I love it. I love it. I gotta get that book. I collect cookbooks, so I gotta get it. I gotta put it in the chat. Please put it in the chat.
Yep.
Okay. Listen, this is what I'm talking about right here. This networking and us like just sharing. I mean, this is awesome. It was absolutely awesome. But now, Melissa.
Yes.
That means it's time for you to come on out with a book. You got Brooke.
I need to find out if you come in the morning at 5:30 to work out. That's all I want to know.
Yep, that's what we want to know.
If I'm coming for
Yep.
Wait, is there a hush over Jerusalem? There's a hush over Jerusalem because I don't hear anything. That's all I want to know.
When I come down, I'm coming. I'm gonna be there.
She won't know about Melissa, you know what? I'm a beginner. You gotta have mercy on me now.
No. Listen,
my
like
God.
I said in my video, we don't have time for baby steps. Baby steps are for babies.
I heard you say that yesterday.
Yes, no time for baby steps.
You already said if that doctor said you was gonna die tomorrow, what you gonna do? You're gonna change the day. So let's go.
Come on now.
Oh my gosh. Do you hear this? Erica in the Amen corner.
LaShawn.
Yes, she is.
LaShawn. You could go to my YouTube channel and do some easy chair yoga. I do have a few easy chair yoga exercises for women over 50. I'm over 50, so I don't know, but I do chair yoga for women over 50. It's on my YouTube channel. So go easy at first. You don't have to do the boot camp. You can do easy. Start breathing.
Melissa's gonna work me. I'm gonna be all sore.
Erica,
and
you see me, Erica. Yeah. I'm repositioning myself.
She's trying to get you down. Start slow.
So you see what Natalie said? Melissa says all the time, only God gives mercy, not her.
Natalia telling it. Go on, Natalia. Tell the truth now. Tell the truth. I know it. That's why I didn't even set myself up for it.
Well, I gotta work when I come down there. I'm going. So Sean, you coming too?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
You know what? That would be really cool to do like a cooking class and do a fitness session and have some workshops. That would be awesome.
Let's do it.
That would be completely awesome.
I have 2 classes a day. I have one at 5:30 in the morning and one at 5 o'clock in the evening.
And then 5:30 in the morning. So she's not only trying to drag you out, she's trying to kill you at 5:30.
Listen, and then she wants you to come back in the evening.
And drag and trying to break you down.
Man,
I'm going.
Listen,
why don't you try to walk away the pounds? Go easy.
Right. Oh.
I think I lost 5 pounds just thinking about that right now.
Listen, Melissa, if y'all go and watch her video that she did yesterday. She take you through the station. She got this big old huge tire and all of these pulling and fighting and boxing and
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
it
kind of does. It sounds kind of cool. I like it.
I know, right?
Melissa, the people want to know where you're located for the exercises.
At Lake Vista on the tennis courts.
Lake Vista on the tennis court.
The recreation
St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yes, every morning from 5:30 to 6:30. The lights are on. Come on out.
Okay.
That's where my husband's from. St. Pete.
Mine too. My husband's from St. Pete too. It's like the St. Pete.
Okay.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Yes.
That's why I said this was like divine. This was like a divine connection. Yeah.
Hilarious. That is so funny.
Yep.
That is
all the St. Petersburg on here. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
I lived there for 1 year.
You got to come on back. I already told you, St. Pete, the next Black Mecca of Florida. It's the next Atlanta.
I really do miss it. That beach, we were on the beach almost every night.
Wow. I can believe it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, please don't.
What was I gonna say? Oh, Erica, Melissa, they want to know how much the classes are.
It's $20 a week.
It's 20. Oh, that's not bad at all.
Very affordable.
That's really
affordable. Very
affordable. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
excellent.
$20 a week. And we bring
Melissa.
don't read Natalia's post. Don't read her. Don't read her. I can only imagine.
She said, Melissa said, this is from Decky. He's watching the chat. Melissa, he loves you and is enjoy what you ladies are doing. Thank you, Decky.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this was absolutely amazing. Now, let me tell y'all something. I know each one of y'all have some stuff going on, so I do want you to take a minute to brag on what you're doing. I know that Brooke has some great stuff coming up. I know that Melissa has some great stuff coming up because I've been eavesdropping in on all of y'all Facebook pages. And I know that Erica has some very good stuff coming up. So let's give the people what they want. They want to know what y'all got coming up. So let's see. Let's start off with Brooke because you're next to me, and then we'll go Erica, and then we'll go Melissa.
Okay, what do I have coming up? Okay, so if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, I am teaching chair yoga online, of course. Chair yoga on Fridays, mat yoga on Saturdays, and I'm teaching plant-based class tomorrow. These all free in Fulton County, Georgia. They're free classes.
Wow.
So they pay me, but they're free to you.
Wow.
So that's going coming up. If you're not in Fulton County, Georgia, I will make the plant-based classes available for a small fee online, and I'll work that out. That's going to be available coming up. This is my newest journal. Ooh, can you see it? So it's Love God Herself. This is actually the book that it goes to. I wrote this book about 2 years ago, Love God Herself, Yoga and Mindfulness for Black Women Who Follow the Christ. And then I recently just put this one out like about a month or so ago. It's a journaling workbook for inner healing, inner guidance, and inner peace. And so what this journal does is you open it up and it says, like, I'm just going to read one. Loving God, using your might, involves owning your own God-given power. What does God-given power look like? How do you wield your God-given power? And how do you give your power away? So it's to kind of explore principles that are in the Bible and to get you closer to God, but also closer to your own inner wisdom, inner healing, and inner guidance. And I can't think of anything else that I have.
You missing something big.
What?
That trip to Jamaica.
I'm like, what?
I
forgot. It's Corona, So for starting in 2016, I started doing retreats. First, I was a facilitator for other people's retreats, and then I started doing my own retreats. And I've done about 11 retreats for women, and they're Black women. And because of 2020, we didn't get to do any retreats. You can go to brookbrim.com and you can find my retreats there. So I decided to step out on faith and plan my first retreat since Corona. Is going to be October 27th through the 31st. And we're going to Cousins Cove, Jamaica, which is just down the road from the grill. So we're going to be in a beautiful luxury house. 2 meals a day are included. You're going to get yoga, meditation, self-discovery exercises, journaling. We're going to go on a catamaran ship in a party boat. We're going to go to the beach, and we'll have our own private beach. And we'll be right there on the water. We can snorkel and kayak. And so I'm stepping out on, hey, Zenobia, I'm stepping out on faith. And I have reserved the house. I have put half the money down. So wow. Faith. And I hope that you guys will join me. And if we cannot go because of Corona shutdown or whatever, all monies will be refunded August the 27th, so 2 months before. So I wouldn't recommend anybody buy a flight prior to August the 27th.
Right.
So that we're
Right.
clear that we're going. Now, if you can't go because of your own coronavirus, you should get travel insurance. For
Yeah,
that.
so you
But
can
if
get.
you can't go, everybody's getting their money back. So
Okay.
that's what I'm talking. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and where do they
How?
get the
How did you
information?
forget about that?
Yeah.
I don't know how I forgot about that. If you go to Brook, I'm putting it in the chat. If you go
Okay.
to brookbrim.com/retreats, you can see all my past retreats there, and you can learn about that retreat there. If you go to brookbrim.com, you'll find it there.
Awesome. Awesome.
Say again.
What's the capacity?
Oh, at 12 people, and we will fill up. But the accommodations, let me just be clear about the accommodations. For all my retreats, we kind of do a thing where a lot of people bring a girlfriend and they share a bed. And that, they get their own room, but they share a bed. But we're very communal living. If you want to get your own bed, then the price goes up. But if you bring a friend and you're sharing a bed, or we have a quad where it's four single beds, so you don't have to sleep with someone, but you would share a room. All the rooms have a big, beautiful ocean view. It's a beautiful website and see it, because I have pictures of the space. And we're going to have our own private chef, security, and a person to help us snorkel and kayak. So it's going to be pretty nice. I'm excited.
Wow, that sounds like that's going to be fun. It's going to be, just self-exploratory, helping you to It's so important, especially for women, because we give so much to our husbands, to our children, to our business, to this, to that, and sometimes we have a tendency to lose ourselves in the midst of it, just really having that connection. So my mom was like, I want to do that. She watched you too, because of the advertisement and stuff. Okay. And she was really, very motivated by Melissa, your video, Melissa. So I'm glad that the advertisements, people have been commenting and really loving the advertisements that's been going out as well. So Erica, what do you have coming up next?
I mean, now you got me following Brooke.
Right, Erica. Are we looking at each other like nothing? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing going on.
My husband over here chuckling, he laughing.
Yeah, Brooke guys are going to work tomorrow. What are you doing? Going to work tomorrow? I don't
know. Let me see. Well, we're doing the cooking classes. Everybody who purchases a book directly on our website are added into a exclusive group where they actually get hands-on weekly cooking demonstrations with me and my daughter, who's also the chef. So they get their hands-on, they get to ask questions in that group. We get to interact. So like if they don't have a specific ingredient, I can tell them an alternative. So they get more hands-on experience and learning the vegan plant-based lifestyle. So we're going to, we're actually updating our website to where they're going to actually have a login so they can actually get into the classes that way. Because not everybody's on Facebook, so that makes it a lot easier for everybody to get in. Let me see. We were contacted by DoorDash. They want us to, but we haven't started a restaurant, so I'm trying to figure out how that's going to work.
Wow.
So, a shared kitchen. That's what everybody's doing now, sharing a kitchen.
Yes. Yeah. We contacted a vegan company called Cosmic Vegans. So we're looking at sharing a kitchen with them temporarily until we get our food truck done, which should hopefully be within the next 2 to 3 months. So that's in the works. So it's been a long progress, but I'm trying not to rush it because I don't want too much flying at one time. So we're also doing meal prep. That'll be the next thing before the food truck. So we got our name out there and everybody's loving it. And I get calls every day about where we are. And I'm like, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. So
I'm sorry, y'all. My mouse is like weird over here. But yes, for Erica, that's huge. I mean, literally, she just launched in the end of 2019. Mm-hmm. And she has already seen a lot of traction. Like people are literally like, listen, we need the food.
Yeah, I had some call me the other day. They were in Goodyear and they're like, "Where are you?" They were like, "We saw your picture of the chicken and waffles." And I was like, "Yeah." Like, but you're not open to 12. I'm like, we're doing caterings right now. We're not really full grown yet. So it was like, oh man, oh, when are you opening up? So they say we'll definitely be, you know, a lifelong customer once you do. So
Yeah.
it calls a lot.
Yeah. And where can the people go to find you, Erica?
Bearsheet 129. That's our Facebook page. And then you can also, bearsheet129.com is our website. You can order our cookbook there. We also sell organic elderberry syrup that has sea moss in it, which is really, really good for this time of the season. And then also in our cooking class, we also taught them how to make a tonic made out of fire cider, and we also made a homemade thieves oil. So we combine both of those and show them how to put them together, and they take a swig of it every day with some juice. So
yep,
we don't just do cooking, we do whole body, because if your mind ain't right and your body ain't right, you ain't right. So
exactly. 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 Thank you so much, Erica. And Melissa, what do you have coming up?
Actually, we have so many irons in the fire, and when I say we, I'm meaning my entire tribe of family, my children, which I describe as Six Nations. But right now, as far as the workouts are concerned, we're still doing. I can't believe it's been 12 years, going on 13 years that we've been working out in the same spot. I'm just so blown away by that. So we have our morning workout in the morning from 5:30 to 6:30, Monday through Thursday. I also do an evening workout called Backyard Barbell and Burn, and that class is a little bit smaller. It is intense, but both classes are intense, but it is doable. We have 60-year-olds in our morning class and 60-year-olds in our evening class, so it is definitely doable. Yes, LaShawn. So we'll be doing that. I'm gonna keep throwing that in there. So we definitely have that. Me and my husband are currently doing. We do every Saturday morning. We have a Bible study, and that my brother conducts. But the first 10 to 15 minutes we talk about health. So we've been doing that, and now we're going to convert that over to. We're looking to start a YouTube channel, and it's called Straight Talk No Chaser. And what we're going to do is we're really going to go in those very difficult conversations to discuss what it is in order to maintain our health. And then we're also talking about looking into what I would like to do is being able to be a liaison for the community. And what I mean by that when it comes to health, we have so many of our elderly population or people in general that go into doctor's office and hospitals and have zero clue about what the doctor just said. So what we need is those advocates that can be there with them in order to interpret what the doctor has told them. So I'm definitely looking into doing that to be able to be an advocate for the community. And if you want to be on a phone call when you go to a doctor, or if you want me to be on a Zoom call with you when the doctor is speaking to you, then therefore, because once they know that there's someone on the line or someone in your life that actually understands the language that they're speaking and that they're trying to speak to you so you don't understand it, then they switch the language around. So and I've seen the disparity, and that's what's causing that health gap in our community. And we need to close that by making sure that we have people that can interpret the language and also hold the physicians accountable as well too. Yes. Or the healthcare community accountable as well too. So that's the next step that we're looking into, being able to gather more healthcare workers, be able to say, listen, I will be an advocate for the community if you need someone to interpret what the doctor is saying. So then, because an educated person is a healed person. So that's the whole purpose and premise behind that. So that's something else that we're doing. And then, you know, my oldest daughter, I manage her singing career, and she's doing amazing with her music and so on and so forth. And then my baby girl, she has a suicide prevention business, and that's she does a lot of wellness and healing with children. So helping her do that. And then my oldest son just launched his merchandise line, so I'm helping him do that as well too. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All of the entrepreneurs.
Amazing.
And Melissa, how can they find you if they want to get more information about your daughter's organization, with suicide prevention? How can people reach you?
So what you can do is I'm on Facebook and Instagram, but if the Florida Elite is on Facebook and Instagram as well too. Oh, and we also do something called Elite Eats, where we go around to different local restaurants, predominantly African American, because we're trying to get more people to understand that there's African American restaurants in our community. And we kind of we go in and we invite people to come, and we enjoy the atmosphere and the food, and then we just kind of write a beautiful blog about it. Nothing negative. Anything negative, we talk to the owner. Everything positive goes on social media. So we've also been doing that as well too. And it's called Elite Eats on Facebook, but we're also under Florida Elite as well too, and then also under Ancestral Funk. Ancestral Funk is the name of our music business as well too. And then Numa is the name of my daughter's business, and I'll have all of these links for you guys. I know it's a lot of links, but Numa is the name of her suicide prevention business.
Oh, that's right, Numa.
Right, it's the space in the body where God exists. That's between the heart and the lungs. So that's where God exists, in that pneumatic space. So that's the name of her business as well too. So I will definitely give you all those links so we can have all that ready to go.
That would be awesome.
Business clothing line is called 9 Kingsmen Clothing. So I'll give you all of those links. I love those children. They're something.
That's awesome. I got my book, Erica. Look.
Yep, I got it.
Wow, she was not playing.
I know you're like, oh, I'm next. I'm definitely next.
Put it in there. Look.
Oh, I'm so next. Yes, I will be able to get that book. Both of y'all. Yes, for sure. Tonight, as soon as I'm done with this, I'll get it.
Wow.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I am so grateful. You know, we have been on here for a little more than 2 hours. It does not feel like that at all. And I remember Brooke asked me, I think somebody asked, well, how long do you think it's going to be? And I was like 45 minutes, maybe.
Because I was going to have to take the kids, but I sent them in the Uber.
You said... she sent them in the Uber, and my husband, like an hour ago, he was like, okay, so ask everybody to give their closing remarks. He wrote it on a little whiteboard. I'm like, okay. And then it was like somebody else said something, and it just kind of went from there on. This has been an amazing panel, amazing show. I really appreciate you guys for coming. Listen, this is what sister love is all about.
Yes,
sister love.
Yes,
right here.
Yes,
we are embracing and supporting one another. Yes. This was good. It was real good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we definitely are gonna have to get together and do something for sure.
Yes.
We definitely gonna have to get together. My husband said awesome.
At 5 a.m. 5:30. Something. 5:30. At Lake Vista in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yes.
Now, Erica.
Yes. Can I get a witness? Is all asking for LaShawn. We just need accountability partners. That's all we need. That's all we need. It's accountability partners.
You know how early I'm gonna have to get up. Do y'all realize that I don't get out of bed until 10:30 in the morning?
Well,
I wish I had.
Right.
Well, Erica, you know I be up until 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
And it's gonna be cold tomorrow. It's gonna be 54 in the morning.
Oh, that's not. We've been out way colder than that. We've been out way colder. We've been out in 32 degrees. That doesn't bother. That
32 degrees.
That ain't no ball.
Yes.
Go
okay.
Yes. And as
Go ahead,
LaShawn, as one of the mothers in the group, always challenges everybody. She's in her 60s. She's been with us for 10 years. She came off of blood pressure medicine. And one of her things that she always says is, how bad is you want to?
Hello.
How bad?
If I go, my husband will have to come. Babe, you gonna go with me?
Sure. Why I gotta be
involved? Crickets back here. Honey, you gonna go with me? Oh, he said he gonna come with me, Melissa.
All right, there you go.
Yes, because we have couples out there. No, please, we have couples. Yes, absolutely.
He said he gonna come with me. Oh my gosh, when we going?
Well, that's the key. When we going?
When you go every day, every morning?
Now she don't heard me say Monday through Thursday for the past 2 hours.
Monday to Thursday.
It'll probably have to be Thursday. He said Monday. No, they don't do Fridays. Monday, Wednesday.
Michelle said tomorrow.
Monday, Wednesday.
Michelle said tomorrow.
Tuesday, right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Erica in the amen corner. And Michelle said tomorrow. She in the deaconess corner.
Right.
Well,
right. And you know you cannot say that's a DNS. Yeah. Right.
We'll definitely come on Monday.
Okay, wonderful.
We'll definitely come on Monday. We gotta do it. Both of us gotta lose weight, but I have to lose more than he does. So yes.
Okay.
And you know, with me and all they gotta do is really think about it, like concentrate on it real good.
Get on my nerves.
And it just come right off.
Just come right on off.
Yep.
Yep.
It really does.
Yep.
You can do it. You can do it.
Let's see. Okay, so Nichelle Lewis said, "Thank you, ladies." Juliet McCullum said, "Great discussion. We got you." And then, and then she turned around and said, "See you tomorrow."
Because they all come to the workout. They all come to the workout.
Both of them said, "See you tomorrow." Oh my gosh. And Zenobia Palmer said, wow, I'll have to catch the replay. Zenobia, this was lit. Tonight it was lit. Everybody who wasn't watching, y'all missed out. I hope y'all go ahead and get on deck and just and watch it. Listen, this was great. We're definitely gonna have to do this again, guys. Y'all, for real. Like I said, I had a whole list of questions that I had put together, and we probably tackled maybe a couple of those. I think the information that we brought forth was even more just natural and authentic and just more informational than what the questions I had. So I'm definitely not mad at all. Natalia said, Decky said, you need to be about what you talking about. That's what he said. You need to be about what you talking about. That's what he's talking to me. I know that's what he's talking to me.
You know he's talking to you, Sean.
He's talking to me. I already know.
Get on it.
Decky, me and my husband gonna be there Monday morning. Now he gonna have to roll me out of bed with a real barrel. But we will be there Monday morning.
How bad you want to?
Yeah, because we will be there.
Okay.
I might have to go lay down on my mama floor across the street at her house after we done, but we'll be there.
That's perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine.
And I'm gonna have to send my phone number. If she don't show up, call me.
I'm gonna be there and wait until you come. I'm gonna make sure you right there with me.
So why don't you just go ahead and record it and put it on social media?
There you go. Yeah, I can do that.
And make us so we know.
Yes. Yes. Listen, Brooke, y'all got Brooke to join the deaconess corner. Now she in on.
I like it.
It's a long time between now and Monday. We'll be there for God. No, we need proof. We need to
need proof. Oh Lord. Wait, you hear how they got me?
And I'm gonna text you Sunday night. I'm gonna be like, you ready?
I know she definitely gonna text me. She'll probably be up Arizona time. She'll be up East Coast time on Monday. Hey, you up? She'll be, hey, you up? 2:00 in the morning. Hey, you up?
Yeah, right.
Now, how far is it from your house to there? So I know what time we need to leave.
It's about, what you think, baby? Like 45, 50 minutes? Yeah.
But so where y'all? Where are you located?
Wesley Chapel. Wesley Chapel.
Okay.
Oh, you wait.
Okay. That's okay. We have people that
but it's all right.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's early enough where it shouldn't be a whole lot of traffic.
Yeah.
No,
that's the main thing.
You get there in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Somewhere in St. Petersburg. That's what we need to do. Yeah.
Oh, listen. I'll go wherever.
That seems to be the home base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go wherever. Y'all name it. I'll be there. I'll be there with jump ropes in hand.
You said jump ropes and everything. She bringing all of the equipment. She ain't leaving no excuses
Everything.
for nothing.
None. All you can do
And
is
I'm
bring some
telling
water.
y'all one thing I can say I admire about Melissa so much. Like I said, when she was 23, I can remember her saying, I want to lose XYZ amount of pounds. And I can remember her bringing her little half sandwiches on campus when she was going to nursing school. She was not playing. And when I tell you Melissa dropped that weight like that, and she has not picked it back up, like I said, fabulous and fine, honey. And
Girl,
fit.
listen,
Yeah.
this menopause is no joke. That's all I can tell y'all. Because I'll be 52 in a couple of months, and this thing is.
I'm 51 too. Hey, sisters, 1969.
We're gonna have to do a whole nother segment. We're gonna have to do a whole nother episode about menopause.
I did menopause at 47. I've been done with it.
For real?
Oh my
How
God.
long does it take?
A year. I mean, it didn't. Yeah, it takes. It takes a whole year without it before they announce that it's over. But I didn't have it. You do have the ramp up. You have the ramp up, which that's like about a couple years.
Right. That's where
just ramping up to it being over is about a couple years with your period acting every old kind of way and all kinds of different things. So you do have to ramp up. And then once you go that whole year, it's over. I was done at 47.
Well, good for you.
I be having hot flashes now. I don't know if it's from me being overweight or if it's because I'm going through menopause. It's one or the other. We'll find out soon. Though.
I only had a minimal amount of. I'm gonna tell you, the only time that I had hot flashes is when my daughter went into the hospital. It was stress.
Yeah.
And then that was around that time. And then once we got that settled, I didn't really have them anymore. I can't really think of that many things. Just I'm gonna tell you the main thing that happened to me about around menopause time is that I really got a strong desire to just really be about me. Like it's like my nurturing hormones kind of withdrew a little bit.
Yeah.
And it really became about me.
Going through that now.
And so
Erica, you say you're going through that now?
I must be going through that now because
it's been so long. I mean, I guess it's been 4 years or so. But I started getting to the point where I would go in my room and close my door and be like, the shop is closed.
Yep.
I don't want to hear nobody else talking about nothing. Or I got to do this thing and this is what I'm doing. And I really, really got into me. Now, I have an 11-year-old son, so I still have to take care of him and my husband. And I've been married 27 years too, just like you.
Wow, look at it.
We have a lot in common. This whole group, we have a whole lot in common. Our home, like Erica, I've been married 27 years, like Melissa. I'm fasting, like LaShawn. We got a lot in common.
Yeah, it'll be 27 years for. I'm saying wow, but it'll be 27 years for us on the 19th.
See,
of this month. Yeah,
there you go. See,
I just got off a juice fast.
Okay.
Wow.
Synergy, man. It's nothing but God. It's nothing but God.
But I think I'm going through menopause right now though, because I've been doing that me thing since I moved to Arizona.
Yep.
I'm like, look. I only got one of y'all that's finna be 18. When he turned 18, it's a wrap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Purpose
driven, man. It's about, hey, what am I here to do? Okay, I'm
tired of being everybody's mama and my husband's wife. I want to know who Erica is.
What am I supposed to do? And that's my goal, and that's what I teach, and that's what I live.
Amen. I'm with y'all on that. I mean that, and my thing is really being more direct about. I'm usually really direct, and sometimes, Melissa, my grandmother, how she was. She said everything that she was thinking, and so I had gotten to the point where mine was almost it was bad. I go on people's job telling them what I'm, You know, that's how I was on people's jobs, and I had to wind up quitting, or they get, you know, you might get fired type situation because, you know, you just say what it is. You look at something and you see is now I'm not being disrespectful. This is just what it is, you know.
Right.
And so I'm finding myself back at that place where I'm just kind of like, this is what I want. This is not what I want. So I'm really like, you know, even when it comes to my relationship with my husband, okay, this, I don't like that. Can we try something different? You know, let's do this. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Be more, you know, not as accommodating, I should say. You know, kind of knowing what I want and just being like, this is what I want.
Being intentional.
Intentional. Exactly. That's a good word. Intentional.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
I definitely have to go because I have to use the restroom, and I have had to.
Oh my gosh.
Man, this has been absolutely amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is what Sister Love is all about. And we are patronizing one another. Anybody that's watching, please make sure that you follow, you like, you share, and that you patronize. Let's close this Black wealth gap in all things. In all things whole. Let's be whole in all things. So I'm going to have my, just before we close, I'm going to have my phone out, and I am going to record our session on Monday, so y'all can know that I'm there with Melissa. Y'all know I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of stretching this week.
Wonderful.
And this weekend, so I can make sure I'm ready. But thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. Do y'all have any final words before we end this? Anybody?
No. Let's let Brooke go to the restroom.
All right, Brooke, you can go to the party now. Thank y'all so much, ladies. Y'all have a blessed evening. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right.
So much.
Good night. Bye-bye. Good night. Oh my goodness, that was so good. Okay, so guys, we are going to go ahead and tie this thing up. We are going to end this episode. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Juliet McCullum, thank you so much for sharing this on your page. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. This is our longest ever episode of T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays, but I really do hope that you guys enjoyed it and that you found it informative, and that you can take the information that you've learned here tonight and the things that we've discussed and use it to apply to your everyday life. Stay tuned for T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays. On next Tuesday, we'll be releasing our promotional and advertisement material at that point in time. Thanks so much, guys. We will see you soon. Peace, love, and
Welcome to BEMP, Black Heritage Enterprise Marketplace Corporation, an e-commerce enterprise platform created for Black business owners and empowered buyers across the globe. We are the platform that empowered buyers frequent most, the enterprise that our employees love working for, the parent company of BEMCO, Black Entrepreneurs Marketplace, a Black-owned e-commerce Black business membership marketplace, and a marketing and advertising platform for Black business owners. We provide a variety of features such as a Black business directory for both state and national searches and targeted product and service searches. Black business owners, advertise and market your brand to the most important consumers on earth with BEMP. Black business owners, join BEMP today. BEMP
you.